Okay.
Well, hello, Facebook. This is the Colorado Springs School of Massage Facebook Live session. I'm your teacher today. My name is Joe. So come on over here. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we teach in our school. So, go ahead and have a seat right over there. We have been teaching our classes, and right now we just have a class, our senior class just entered Student Clinic. And they have gone through the basic portion of the course. They know how to do a Swedish massage. And now we start adding tools to their toolbox. And one of the tools that our students really love, and so do our clients, is manual passive stretching. Now, manual passive stretching, what in the world is that? Let me give you a definition. Manual passive stretches is where the therapist manually moves the affected joint to the limit of its range of movement and then holds this stretch briefly before repeating the procedure. So if I wanted to stretch out this part of my arm, I know that it performs this function, which is flexion. So if we go in the opposite direction, as far as it will go and hold it there for 10, 15 seconds, we are performing a manual, because I'm doing it manually, passive, because I'm not doing any work, the therapist is doing the work, and a stretch for this entire side of the arm. We can do manual passive stretching for all parts of the body, almost every muscle that has an action. Once we know what the action is, we can go and undo that action to perform a stretch. So some of the areas that we can stretch the neck. And well, can you imagine how many different directions does the neck move? Well, we can stretch the neck in all of those different directions. So we can do lateral flexion, lateral rotation to both sides. We can do extension in this direction, and we can do hyperextension in the posterior direction. And then we can do traction on the neck. So as a therapist, you can do a lot of good for your client when you're working with the neck by doing those stretches. How about arms? Arms move in a million different directions. We can do a stretch in almost any one of those directions. We teach 5 basic directions for stretching that help the shoulder and the arm muscles.
Pat's watching.
Oh, hey, Pat. How's it going, buddy? We can also do stretches for the torso. I mean, how many times do you wake up in the morning and you've got to kind of stretch out a little bit? We can manually perform those stretches for you. And the beauty of it is, when you're not engaging muscles to do your own stretches, now with your body relaxed, you get a much more functional, a much more beneficial stretch. While you're laying face down, we can do hip lifts where it kind of torques your spine a little bit. And the goal of torquing your spine is not to seek out a cavitation. We don't want to do a chiropractic adjustment, but guess what? Each one of those segments of vertebrae are tied to each other with ligaments and with muscles. And so if we rotate in one direction, we're stretching the muscles of that direction. We rotate the others, and we're rotating other muscles and stretching those out in a different direction. So we can do stretches for the head, the arms, the shoulders, the upper body. Guess what? We can do legs too, and hips. So depending on what direction you're going to raise the leg or pull it out this way or pull it the other way, we're generating a stretch for all the different muscles that are part of the leg and of the hips. We can also stretch the pec muscles. So we know that pecs push the arms and the shoulders forward. Well, the opposite would be stretching them out, and we teach our students how to do that. Now, there is a disclaimer that I want to go ahead and bring to your attention. We teach these to our students as part of a professional course of instruction. When you see these being done on the Joe's Body Shop live segment, please don't try these on your own. I mean, there's some stretches that are pretty safe to do, but if you're going to sit there and you're going to put your honey on the bed at night and start cranking around, don't do that. Schedule an appointment with a professional therapist and have them do the manual passive stretching for you. It's very beneficial, it's not hard to do, but we want to make sure that it's done correctly and not introduce any errors or any kind of injuries to you because we overstretched you. Does anybody have any questions?
Not yet. I see, like I said, I've got Pat watching. With the stretching I know that you've done on me, what I like about it is that sometimes when we stretch for ourselves, we can overdo it and cause a muscle cramp.
Right.
When you do it, I don't feel like that crampy sensation happens.
Well, because when we're doing the passive stretching with you, we're very, very attentive to your tolerance for the stretch. So if we're getting to the limits of how far you can comfortably stretch, there are indicators right here. If you're doing this, I know that the stretch is too much. If you start breathing heavy, really hard, I know that we're exceeding your ability for that stretch. And when we get to a certain point, the leg will start to tremble or the arm will start to tremble. We know when we are reaching your ability to tolerate. Sometimes when we do it for ourselves, we kind of tune that out and we go way beyond. And so that's why it's best to let your professional therapist take care of that for you.
Kelly Jones says, I miss you both.
Oh man, Kelly, we keep seeing you on Facebook. We miss you a lot too. You got to come visit with us. Just come on up. Come up for a weekend. This weekend, it's a 3-day weekend. Come on up.
So if you're doing passive stretching, is your client going to be sore in the morning like they did a gym workout, or is it that aggressive?
Normally it is not that aggressive. But now if you come in here with a bad back, you're trusting us to touch your pain. And so the techniques that we use are going to be used in those areas that are already sore. So you may feel a certain level of soreness, but typically it's not from the stretches and usually not from the techniques that were used on you. It's just part of your recovery process. We're in there stirring things up, getting circulation going again, returning the muscles to a more normal resting length instead of a spasmed, contracted length. And sometimes you'll feel that as a soreness tomorrow, like Joe beat me up or my therapist overdid it. You should feel a certain amount of tenderness after a session, and if it's properly done, that tenderness will clear up between 24 and 36 hours after your massage. That's when you're going to feel your ultimate level of, wow, that was a great massage, because now all of the soreness is gone and you're feeling the results purely and not mixed in with a bunch of tenderness and soreness from the session.
Kelly says, yes, road trip.
We're going to hold you to that, Kelly.
So do I have to ask for you to do stretches? Is that a special session?
It's actually something that we like to teach our students to include in the massage. It's one of the tools that they use to give you a good restorative massage. So if you want to ask for more stretches, definitely ask for them. But our student will very likely ask you, hey, can we do some stretches on your neck? Or can I stretch your arm out? They will introduce the stretches to you in a way to kind of encourage you to accept, yes, let's do some stretches, because they wouldn't offer it if they didn't think it would be of a benefit for you.
Do I have to wear anything special for that kind of a session?
No, because on our tables, we cover you with a sheet and a blanket all the time. And there are draping techniques where we kind of diaper you up and nothing's going to get exposed, nothing is going to get flashed. You're very, very well protected against exposure, and you don't have to worry about wearing anything. We can take care of it with the draping, although you're always welcome. Undress to your level of comfort. If that means leaving some underwear on, please feel free.
Is this something you get at all massage therapist studios, or is this something you specialize in?
This is something that we have been teaching in the school for about a year now, and I do know that there are some of the massage spas out there that are offering stretching sessions now. I don't know who started it. I'd like to think that we did, but stretches have been around for 3,000 years. I do know that Joe's Body Shop does them. We encourage our students to not only learn them, but to use them once they start student clinic. And I was hearing some feedback earlier today that the stretches felt great. So yeah, we do those, and our customers love it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you have not had stretches included in your massages, our student clinic is up and running. We've got students that are hungry to do massages. They want to get their requirements knocked out. Ask them to do some stretches on you. It's a 1-hour session, $35, and you will love how you feel after one of those massages. So give us a call at 719-310-9297. Look us up online if you like at www.CS School of Massage. See what we offer on there. And if you happen to be one of those people that have been weighing and deciding if you wanted to be a massage therapist at some point in the future, call us. We'll help you figure that all out. And if you like what we're saying, we would love to have you as one of our students. So have a wonderful 3-day weekend. It's Labor Day coming up on this Monday, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.